Good YouTube? It's jazzlovesmma here, and here are my UFC Seattle Izzy versus Joe Pyfer predictions video. I'm gonna be breaking down the whole card, and yeah. So let's start off with Alexia Dinara versus Bruno Brazil. I'm gonna lean Alexia Dinara. This was a weird booking. It was supposed to be, I think, Sigula versus some other lady. I think it was the lady that beat that year last weekend, who had beat her on the Contender Series. It was supposed to be her fighting. She pulled out. Dinara stepped in. The person who Dinara was supposed to fight pulled out. Bruno Brazil is on like a 2 week notice. And this is actually a rematch. They fought in regionals. Bruno Brazil got a standing gilly in their first fight. I just think that Dinara's improved way more. And she just looked way better in the grappling and stuff. I'm going to pick Alexia Dinara by decision. Pretty clear pick. Bruno Brazil's pretty good. Not really. She's kind of mid. Her last couple of performances have under-delivered. She looked kind of shit against Kellen Souza, who she's like manly and she does hit hard, but there's a weird bad performance from Bruno Brazil. So I'm just gonna be Alexia Dinara, just being able to be stronger, being able to grapple Bruno Brazil. Yeah, gonna pick her by decision. Wouldn't be shocked at a submission though. This is pretty short notice for Bruno Brazil. Moving on up the card, Ricky Simón versus Adrian Yanez. It's a pretty tough fight to call. Adrian Yanez has been out for ages, for like 2 years. I think his last fight he slammed out. I think what did he fight? Quinones. Then he fought Daniel Marcos and lost that split decision. Ricky Simón is also coming off a loss to Raoni Barcelos. But the difference of that matchup compared to this one is Barcelos has very good grappling. So, in where Ricky Simón was losing the striking, or he might lose the striking here, he didn't have the avenue to just bulldoze Barcelos in the grappling like he does here. Ricky Simón has pretty decent crispy boxing. He hits hard. He is really good wrestling. Adrian does it hard as well. Has good hands, but him getting smudged by Daniel Marcos wasn't a good look. Gonna lean Ricky Simón decision here. Maybe he gets a KO, but I really doubt it. Not super confident in Ricky Simón, of course, but gotta lean him for the pick. Ricky Simón decision. Navajo Sterling versus Bruno Lopez. Bruno Lopez looks like he knows he's about to get slammed up. We are knocking this dude out. We aren't getting a 29-20 anymore. We are getting a highlight reel. Yeah. Bruno Navajo Sterling, great kickboxer. You know, I've been a big Navajo Sterling fan since he finished on the Contender Series, and he has been delivering. Everyone's expecting to get these big KOs, but he's fighting pretty good guys who won't get KO'd. When I say pretty good, I don't mean they're good fighters, but their chins will hold up and they're tough enough to survive. Bellato, I feel like a lot of people are picking Sterling to KO Bellato, but he's really tough. So no way Navajo's gonna do that. He's a very technical kickboxer. I like his striking. And he does have KO power to hurt people or like finish them. He almost finished Urslan, Ibo Urslan or something like that. So Lopez has just got KO'd by a jab from Jacoby. He had lost on the Contender Series a couple years ago from Ribeiro, who he does hit hard, but Navajo Sterling does as well. So these big power punchers who have decent kickboxers with power in their hands give Bruno Lopez issues. I don't see Bruno Lopez smudging Navajo. I do think Navajo has decent grappling for someone who's pretty early in his MMA career and who was a former kickboxer. So I think Navajo's just gonna get it done. Straight shots, 1-2. Probably puts Bruno Lopez out in rounds 1 or 2.
And yeah, we are making a statement here, and we will be ranked in the future. Navajo Sterling Mafia stand up. Moving on to Casey O'Neill versus Gabriela Fernandez. Um, Casey O'Neill hasn't fought since 2024. She beat Luana Santos, I think that's her name. She's a decent grappler. That's a pretty good performance. She's fighting. I think that fills on short notice as well for Luana Santos. She's on a good run now. And then Gabriela Fernandez, she beat the great Wayne Kong, Wong Tong. Um, knocked her down, subbed her. Now, I'm going to lean Casey O'Neill, getting like a 29-20 split decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gabriela Fernandez has too much physicality and beats up Casey O'Neill. This is a fight I don't really care about, so I'm not going to get into breakdown. Gabriela Fernandez does it hard. Casey O'Neill, decent striker, so I can see her picking Gabriela Fernandez apart. She doesn't leave her hands down like a Wong Tong. So yeah, prediction: Casey O'Neill decision. Moving on to Martian Tybur versus Tyrell Fortune. Fortune stepping in short notice for Walter Walker, I think. This is where Walter Walker pulled out. I see a lot of people picking Fortune, but dude, he's like 35, stepping in short notice. Yeah, he's a decent boxer. He does some defensive grappling, but the Martian Tybura underdog pick, he's sliming out Fortune in one round. Round one, a submission or KO. KO, I mean, ground and pound. Yeah, I see him getting a first round stoppage here. I rate his ground game. He was in the UFC's Best Grapplers video, and yeah, Martian Tybura fan. If you're seeing this, yeah, we are part of Tybura Mafia. But I do think he's going to win. Too experienced. I know he got killed by Delija. That is a really bad luck, looking back. But Tyrell Fortune is on short notice and don't know much about him. He got heel hooked recently, so maybe Tybura. I don't think Tybura's a sneaky heel hooker, but maybe he just gets a heel hook here. But I do think he'll get a submission. Moving on to Chase Hooper versus Lance Gibson Jr. Chase Hooper, great grappler, the Gunner one. Gunner arms stand up. He's facing off Lance Gibson Jr., who had a decent performance against Bobby Green. Didn't get KO'd. Stayed in the fight. Is he Canadian, really? Dude, I thought he was American. Anyway, when I say he did decent, he survived, For someone on short notice, first UFC fight, he did okay. He was pretty much just on the back foot doing nothing the entire fight, getting walked down by Bobby Green, but it's not that bad of a loss. Chase Hooper's loss, he only got killed by not Anthony Hernandez, Alexander Hernandez, the Great Ape. And I don't think Lance Gibson Jr. is as good as him. I rate Alexander Hernandez. He's a big power puncher. The way he sets people up is pretty good. He chinned Diego Ferreira. It's an impressive win. So I think Chase Hooper making improvements, took some time off. I think he's gonna be able to grapple Lance Gibson Jr. here and get a round 2 submission. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm just gonna hope this comes off. I am a little bit worried. I feel like Lance Gibson Jr. could make this tricky, but yeah, I don't see it happening. I think Hooper's just gonna get a good sub, and everyone's gonna hop back on the train. Moving on to Ignacio Bahamondes versus Tofik Masayev. This is a short notice fight for Bahamondes. This was supposed to be Masayev versus some contender series dude, and Ignacio Bahamondes has taken some time off since losing to Fiziev. Musayev coming off the immediate slime out Kimura from Orobai. Yeah, that kind of shit in that fight. But Ignacio, so I'm gonna pick Ignacio Bahamondes. Super dangerous on the feet. He did knock out Manuel Torres. I think everyone forgets that. I think the people who do the rankings do too, because Ignacio Bahamondes is just gone from the rankings for no reason. He did make it competitive with Fiziev, and I rate that. So, originally I was thinking Ignacio Bahamondes' decision, but I think round two, I think he's going to end up getting KO, or maybe he'll get a submission triangle choke. I know if he has he might have a couple of triangle chokes losses. So yeah, I think Bahamondes can get around 2 KO, round 2 submission. Ignacio Bahamondes has some underrated wins. He beat Rong Zhu, who isn't like a top 15 guy, but he's a pretty tough guy outside the rankings. Manitors again. So yeah, gonna lead Bahamondes here. He's a tricky style, especially for short notice. Pretty tricky style to handle. So I do think he's gonna get done. We're gonna be hopping him back on the train. Jalen Turner, that's right. He subbed Jalen Turner for it, but yeah. So round 2 finish for Ignacio Bahamondes here. Wouldn't be surprised if Masayev survives and makes it to a decision though. End of the prelims. Moving on to the main card. Terrence McKinney versus Kyle Nelson. I am worried for Terrence McKinney. I do like that in some recent interviews he's been saying that he wants to maintain control his pacing. So that's making me feel a little bit more confident in picking Terrence McKinney here. Because Kyle Nelson did look good against Matt Frevola. He got robbed of a finish there. But I'm going to have to pick Terrence McKinney. I don't think Kyle Nelson is as tough as a Chris Duncan. I don't think he has the chin or power of a Drew Dober. And I don't think he has the striking of a Esteban Ribovics. So I think Terrence McKinney's just going to be able to do something similar to what Steve Garcia did to Kyle Nelson, but maybe do it quicker. It depends how he looks. Maybe he out-grapples Kyle Nelson and takes him to a decision like he's been saying, but I really doubt it. I think he'll get a pretty easy round 1 KO here. But if he loses to Kyle Nelson, that's embarrassing. It's a bad loss. Yeah, it'll most likely be like a round 1 KO. So prediction here is round 1 finish for Terrence. I think most likely KO. Moving on to a really good fight. Mansour Abdul Malik versus Yusri Belgarui. Malik is coming off that submission win. A Gilly over Tricoli. He had that weird overturned fight to a draw with Cody Burnage. And Belgarui is coming off the amazing, spectacular performance over Bikoev. He just beat the shit out of Bikoev, man. He looked phenomenal. Defensive grappling was on point. The striking was just something of beauty. And I'm going to pick him here slightly. I think he's going to be able to just pick apart Malik. And I think he'll win maybe a decision, or maybe he gasses Malik out. It's a late round 3 TKO. The Cody Burnage fight just stays in my head. And that was just a bad look. It's just stating my viewing of Mansour Abdul Malik. I like Bagrui. I like how he looked in his last fight. Absolutely. If he had more trouble against Bikoev, I think I'd be picking against him here. But he looks so phenomenal. The people he trains with are rapidly growing type of fighters as well, like Alex Pereira, who's training with Glover. And I think Glover's going to be able to help Bagrui out. Bagrui seems to be improving rapidly. He looked 10 times better than he did in his Contender Series fight. I didn't pick Bagrui against Bikoev because of how shit he looked in the Contender Series fight. But He looks he's on form. I think he's gonna get it done here. Decision, late KO. Um, yeah. People forget. I think Bo Guri has fought Alex Pereira and Izzy both twice. I may be mistaken, but he has loads of kickboxing experience. I know he's a little bit older, but he has phenomenal experience, and it's kind of cool that he's on the same card as Izzy. Maybe if Izzy doesn't retire and he loses, that's the fight you should make. Bulgari versus Izzy. Anyway, um, but Malik is good. I'm worried that he's just too strong. He just takes on Bulgari, but I'll trust in U3. Malik did just train for someone who's big, tall, lanky, and Tricoli, but Tricoli can't fight to save his life. He's a professional poker player. So pick his U3 by late KO or decision. Moving on to Juicy J, Julian Erosa versus Larian Douglas. I like Julian Erosa. He's pretty good. He had a war with Milkazi Costa. Um, he subbed C-Rod. He has some pretty sneaky wins. Hey man, who does that? People forget, man. Who KOs Derek Elkins like that? He's facing Larian Douglas, who I think he beat Cam Teague on the Contender Series, slimed him out. Did it faster than Kevin Vallejos. I think Douglas is gonna get around one KO here. Too powerful, the gunslinger, and Julian Rosa eats too many shots. I know he had that war with Costa, but Costa doesn't have like heavy hands. He's been getting these kills with like his dynamic kicks and stuff, spinning back kick, the head kick against Sherrier, these big kicks. That's how he's getting his KOs. So that's why Rosa, who was able to keep it tight in front of him, was able to just survive. He does have a good chin, but I think this is a fight where he usually gets bombed and stuff. I won't be surprised if he catches a gilly somehow. I really won't. Douglas does have a gilly loss, so just be careful. If you're gonna bet on this fight, be careful on that. Um, Douglas beat Javier Reyes, the Colombian guy that was on the Loner Kavanaugh Moreno card. So that's like a well-aging win for him that I think they fought in LFA. So that was pretty recent as well, I think. So the pick here is Larian Douglas, round one slime out. I like his striking. He's decent. He has amazing power. So yeah, I think it's a really good prospect to have. Moving on to Michael Chiesa versus Nico Price. Fuck Michael Chiesa, dude. I'm gonna go around this. Why has he been? Let's go over his fucking last couple of fights. Michael Chiesa, dude. They've been feeding this dude nothing but the unk lineup. They give him fucking Tony Ferguson that he gets a sub over. 7 fight losing streak, Tony Ferguson. Um, then they were like, yeah, let's give him the next best thing, Max Griffin. Then they're like, all right, you had two unks. Instead of feeding you to a prospect like Islam Dulatov or Brahimaj or Ponzinibbio, or some other prospects. Not Elijah Smith. Is it Elijah Smith? No. Jacoby Smith. Instead of giving him to Jacoby Smith, who I think they should have given him the short notice fight, they're like, yeah, let's give him Court McGee. Then they give him Carlston Harris, I think that his name is. He pulls out. Instead of feeding Chiesa in his retirement fight to a prospect to build them, they give him fucking Nico Price, who just got chinned by Vernetikov. Man, Chiesa should have won this. Price is cooked. Got mauled in the grappling by Garimbo for 3. Chiesa beats these unks pretty convincingly. Sub the Max Griffin and Tony. That was pretty impressive, I guess. Had that boring ass stinker with Court McGee. And I'm just gonna pick him here by decision. Nico Price has decent submission. defense. He didn't get subbed by Garembo. And yeah, wouldn't be surprised at a case of round one finisher either, but it is what it is. Um, fuck Michael Chiesa. He's so annoying. The privilege he gets for no reason. Well, there's a reason. He didn't sue the UFC for the trolley thing with McGregor. But yeah, moving on to Alexa Grasso versus Macy Barber. ladies, two fine shits, two absolutely gorgeous women going at it again. It's a rematch. I bet you didn't know that, huh? Probably do. Um, I'm gonna pick Alexa Grasso. I don't like her last two performances, but Macy Barber did take Karine Silva to like a close decision, I think, if I remember that correctly. So Alexa Grasso's still good. I think this will be a scrappy fight, and yeah, I don't really know how to break this fight down. I'm just gonna trust in Alexa Grasso. Um, her boxing's still good. I don't like the gym she's at, the same one with Diego Lopez and Irene Aldana. No footwork. They're very blockheaded, but I don't think Macy Barber can do what Natalia Silva did, and I don't see her having the grappling success that Shevchenko did. So yeah, prediction here is Alexa Grasso decision. Moving on to the main event. Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. Is Izzy cooked? I think he's cooked, but I don't think he's so cooked that Joe Pyfer is going to smoke him. I'm going to lean Izzy decision here. I am worried. I'm 50-50. I might switch my pick. Last time I didn't switch my prediction because I had made a video. So I'm just going to say it now. I might switch my pick eventually during the week. Tomorrow's the face-offs. We might see the posture check, see who wins that battle, and whoever wins that, I might just change my pick too. Let's break it down. Israel Adesanya, he does good in his fights until he's not. He was doing pretty good against DDP. He got control for round 2, but round 1 and 3, he looked good. I think he got subbed in round 4. But rounds 1 and 3, he looks pretty good. Even early in round 4, he was putting in good combinations. But DDP is really good, and he was able to find the sub in a Marvel fight, picking Marvel apart a bit, stuffing all the takedowns, almost trips, and Marvel gets caught by the right hand, gets put down in round 2, and Joe Pyfer has really good grappling. I think he is. Well, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna get takedowns here. Earlier today, I made a post about Izzy was getting controlled by his back taken by like Marvin Vettori. I don't think he's gonna get taken down by Joe Pyfer. His takedown defense has looked pretty phenomenal in his last 2 fights. Oh man, but he did get taken down by DDP early. Joe Pyfer does have pretty good grappling. I don't think he's gonna get taken down and just subbed in round 1. Pyfer looks like shit against Hermanson. He had a stinky performance against Kelvin Gastelum. I know he dropped him a whole bunch off of fight IQ, and I can see Izzy just picking him apart with low kicks. I think him backing up to the fence will get him in trouble. I can just see Pyfer. I just have this vision of Pyfer just bombing Izzy, and then either just boom, boom, body cam turns off, boom, right hand over the top, boom, ground and pound, or boom, he catches with that right hand, he clashes with the back of Izzy, and gets a rear naked. I can see either of those two happening, but for now, I'm gonna leave with Izzy just picking apart, switching stances, um, feinting, doing his little feints, having a really boring fight with Joe Pyfer, and yeah, the leg kicks are worrying for Joe Pyfer. Maybe he catches a kick. I don't know. I don't see Izzy getting a late finish. It is possible though. So yeah, it just really just depends on Izzy's chin. I don't know how Hermanson was eating all those shots, man. So I think that was a one-off performance for Joe, but he does have questionable fight IQ. So I'm just gonna have to lean Izzy. I'm worried for his defense. I'm worried that he just gets caught and put down. I was a big Izzy fan. He got me into the sport. My dad used to show me his highlights and stuff. I remember watching Anderson Silva versus Izzy. Not the most fun fight, but hype moments in Aura, man. And yeah, it'll be a pretty sad fall off if Izzy just gets bombed and finished by Joe Pyfer too. But my prediction is Izzy decision. I'm gonna touch him like a dog. Yeah. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this card. Has weird. Lately all these cards have had weird um positioning. Like this should never Chiesa versus Price should never be this high. I think Ricky Simone and Ignacio Bahamondes should be on the main card. Tybura could be on the main card. I don't mind Malik Boguri being here. I don't mind Terrence McKinney, but everyone says this is a good fight, but it should be in the prelims. This should not be on the main card either. And yeah, let me know who you guys got in the main event. Who are you guys rooting for? And let me know your guys' favorite fight on the card. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, jazzlovesmma. And I might try to post another video tomorrow. It's a post that I've been thinking about for a while. I'm gonna try my best to edit it. If I don't post it tomorrow, apologize. I'll post on Friday. And yeah, see you guys next time. Peace.